on the Florida Trail in Jupiter, Florida. Dr. Suzanne here, and want to just touch base with you on something that, in reflecting on this week, something that I posted and shared with a woman on one of the Reddit threads, where she expressed frustration in not feeling any sensation and not being able to orgasm, which is a common issue. And I asked her a question, to try to get to the basis of it, to get to the root of it. And here I stand on ground. I mean, you can see where I am in a natural environment, underneath, standing on top of roots. So the root, getting to the root of difficulty orgasming, one of the first places we have to look, and I'm going to use this experience of sharing with this woman as an example, keeping her anonymous, of course, is that what state is she in? What emotional state when she begins pleasuring herself, for example, what emotional state is she in? And I asked her some questions, do you feel safe when you are in your bed, or let's say she's in her bed, pleasuring herself? And I can tell you that her response was absolutely not. I actually have to turn off the lights and get under the covers, and even then, I don't feel safe. And I shared with her, you just found the root of your problem. So oftentimes we look to go to the outcome. Where's the orgasm? Where's the orgasm? Where's the orgasm? But what we really need to do is get to the root. Why am I not orgasming? What could be holding me back? And in this particular woman's case, that sounds like shame to me. So hiding. And I can tell you that problems love secrecy. So for her to begin to say, okay, you know what? Why am I? And another point that's really important is to think about, okay, why would she be feeling like she needs to hide? And for her to begin to trust her inner self, like, okay, we're going to feel this and it's going to be a little uncomfortable, like to become your own guide and expand your nervous system range, expand your feeling of safety is really what this is going to be about, to expand safety. And hi to those of you that have popped on. Thank you. I'm alone here in the forest, and this is what I think about while I'm here. And I may be closing at 3 minutes. I don't know if this lets me go beyond 3. Actually, it did, to my own surprise. So yeah, this point about safety and what safety means and creating safety for orgasm, for expanding the range of sensation, we have to feel safe. And I can tell you that when we judge our bodies, when we say, I'm taking too long, am I feeling anything at all? What's really, what's wrong with me? I'm broken. All of those kind of thoughts actually threaten our nervous system. They actually create the threat, and they tighten our body, which will not allow us to at least experience orgasm and pleasure. I mean, the body can still orgasm without pleasure, and that is, there's a anhedonia, I think, I can't pronounce that word, but there's pleasure dissociative orgasm disorder is what that's called, when we can orgasm from a reflex, but not through pleasure. Meaning we're not going to fully let go. The body is like, okay, we have to have this release. We'll have it. And so some women will be like, I know I just orgasmed. I just had contractions, but I didn't feel anything. And that's because the body is responding typically from a threat response. So the key is going to be to learn, I feel like leaning on a tree, like I'm walking on my bike, is to really become, number one, patient with yourself. Like hop off the what's wrong with me trail, get off the what's wrong with me trail, and begin to pop on the, okay, how are we going to work together and change this? And I'm speaking about working with yourself, that the solution is going to be within your body. And let's look at an analogy here of, for example, our digestive system. We don't ask our stomach, how are you doing that? How are you digesting? How are you able to digest my food? Now, you may know that, like for me, for example, I cannot eat I am actually in Florida, for those that just asked, and I'm so pleased that you're here. Thank you so very much. I just felt inspired to share on this topic because it is such a profound issue with women. So let's get back to like how we talked about the digestive system. We don't ask our stomach, why don't you like digesting banana on an empty stomach? My body, for example, will not digest banana. I get an upset stomach if I'm eating a banana on an empty stomach. So I don't do it. If you know that if you begin, I'm going to use the word pleasuring ourselves because the word masturbation has so many negative connotations. If you begin a session, and let's call it a session, a pleasure practice session, and you're already got your alert system on, is somebody going to hear me? Don't even start, because respect the fact that you're recognizing that your alert system is on. So begin to, and I just felt chills running through my body as I shared that. So begin to recognize internally where you might be wanting to overshadow it and say, you know what, it's no big deal. I'll be fine. No big deal. Your body registered threat. When you're like, is somebody going to hear me? That's your immediate sign to either comfort yourself, number one, change the location so that you're not, no threat, to get to a point in the safety phase of zero threat. That's where we're going to work on first. Okay, so I want to thank everyone for watching. I'm really pleased that you're here. Yeah, I'm in the forest and I'm on a bike trail, and this is what I do. All right, signing off here from Jupiter, Florida, on a nature trail, and yeah, I'll see how I can sign off, Thank you for watching. I don't know how to turn it off. That's my only problem. And I look like the president of Pakistan. I'm impressed that Pakistan has a female president. I have to do some research. But you know what? I don't even know how to turn this thing off. I don't know if it's going to save. Does anybody know how to turn this, how to actually, like, which button I click to turn this off? Let's see. It sounds silly, but I don't know where to turn it off. Maybe I just click the X button. Let me try that. Are you sure you